What is up, movie viewers? Dena Views and Reviews here.
What you watching? Well, today I am watching Agatha All Along. This movie stars Catherine Hahn, Joe Locke, Sashir Zamata, Ali An, Patti LuPone, Deborah Jo Rupp, and Aubrey Plaza. It is written by Jack Schaefer, Giovanna Sarquist, Peter Cameron, Laura Donney, Gia King, Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, Laura Monti, and Jason Rostovsky. It is directed by Jack Schaefer, Rachel Goldberg, and Ganja Montero. It is produced by Robert Kuehler, Mary Levanas, Jack Schaefer, Julie Herring, Cameron Squires, Kevin Feige, and Marvel Studios. Now, as we may all recall after watching Marvel's WandaVision series about the Scarlet Witch and Vision, who is her husband, it was revealed in the end that Agatha Harkness turned out to be one of the most unassuming, sarcastic, inconspicuous villainess of all times, even having a song dedicated specifically to her ratchetness, because it was indeed Agatha all along. Now, in the WandaVision series, Agatha was left defeated and she was left in Westview, where the Scarlet Witch had put her under a mental spell. She was such a wickedly evil yet fascinating character, and surely she deserved her own spinoff from the Marvel series. It left many of us wanting to know more about this character and her origins. So Marvel Comics decided upon featuring this malicious character, Agatha Harkness, in her own follow-up sequel to WandaVision. Now, even though it has taken 3 years for its debut, because WandaVision actually came out in 2021, the much anticipated Agatha All Along 9-part miniseries is currently available. It is the 11th television series in the MCU Marvel Cinematic Universe and is a direct follow-up to their first major DisneyPlus project, which was WandaVision's miniseries that was out in 2021. Now, in this series, Agatha is still under the spell of the Scarlet Witch when it opens. She is eventually helped out by this mysterious teen that turns out to be one of Wanda's own twin boys, who I think it is Billy. Now, she escapes Wanda's spell with assistance, but she finds herself fighting death, and death is represented by this young lady. Now, as they are fighting, she understands that she has no powers, so she decides to take a journey and delay death, their eventual fight. She wanted to delay it until she is able to have an even fight with it. So she decides to take what is referenced as the Witch's Road in order to regain her powers. Now, it involves walking down what seems to be the Yellow Brick Road with a makeshift coven of witches that Agatha has assembled. Now, in this group, it includes a fortune teller, a potion maker, and it includes a friendly neighbor lady that she has made a part of her coven, as well as Wanda Maximo's child. Now, on this witch's road, they must experience a series of trials to try to eventually get to the end and receive these much needed powers. I gave this miniseries a 1.5. No, I take it back. I'm going to give it 2 stars out of 5. And the reason that I'm going to give it that is I came into it with the highest of expectations and anticipation of it being somewhat similar to the way WandaVision was rendered to us. I expected to find deeper details about Agatha's history, and although there were details about it, I wanted to know about her past lives and her interaction, because we saw her kill so many witches. But I wanted to know how and if it would impact her future potential as this character in the MCU. And although the first episodes or two were kind of iffy to me, I hung in there because I remember how WandaVision started, and I was convinced it would become more appealing just as the WandaVision series did. Now, one of the things that I just felt was just overdone was the sexual innuendo and constantly insinuating this sexual tension right from the start. It seemed it was just, I felt it unnecessary or even pointless and just thrown into the mix to push a personal agenda. It just felt pointless to Agatha's storyline to me and made it somewhat purposeless. Now overall, it just missed its mark for me, and I've seen others that have a differing view, and they are entitled to that. But the production to me felt more like a musical set, a play, and it just, even the supporting characters role came across somewhat as impractical to me, and that it made no sense to me. It just wasn't very cohesive. It just did not have that same appeal as the WandaVision series did for me. And perhaps again, it was the high expectations and anticipation that I had going into seeing it. I wanted to see once again and learn more about the character origins and what role she actually played in becoming the character that we saw in WandaVision. And I wanted to see if she would eventually confront Wanda Maximoff, or how she would be used in the future. And it was a bit implied, but my expectations, I guess, were so high. And that is also when it comes to this Witch's Road. Oh, I was expecting it to be startling and intriguing. And so, it was somewhat, but I was expecting to see the trials. It just kind of went off course a bit to me. And it offered a series of trials. It just didn't exactly live up once again to my own expectations. And I am still wondering, who the heck is Agatha's son's father? Now, unlike WandaVision, I have to say, it wasn't many visually attractive sets to me. At times, it just didn't feel like it was pulled together right. It just didn't, the flow for me was just not cohesive. And again, that's simply my own view. It may have been purposely geared toward a different audience than the WandaVision show was. Even though it was a spin-off, the sexual innuendos and references to sex just seemed so unwarranted and uncalled for. Starting from the beginning with the death character licking her bloody hand, and I'm thinking, why? It just came across as so unnecessary and very much agenda-driven to me. I didn't grasp the need to constantly reference or insinuate or even imply this so-called sexual tension between Agatha and the lady that played Death, or even the interaction between the two boys. I understand that is part of one of Wanda's children's, that's just part of their character or who they are. Other than that, I just felt like the show perhaps was trying to appeal to an adult audience, or that it was being specifically tailored to a specific audience. But Agatha All Along is rated TV 14. I don't know if it should be 14, but it is currently streaming on DisneyPlus. If you have not already, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave me your comments on what you thought of this movie. And join me weekly for another review or movie recommendation. And I want you to remember, it's my view. Now, what are you watching?